Hi, this is Ivan from Houston. On 15th of October 2016, we are going to have a event in the sky called Perigee Syzygy. This is also known as supermoon. Now, Perigee Syzygy moon happens only on new or full moon. When it's a new moon, you can actually see nothing on the space, on the sky. You can see stars, and that's the best time to stargazing. The galaxy looks better, the stars looks better, so that's a good moment to picture the space. When it's a new moon, there's no light, there's no way you can see any light reflected by the sun on the moon. But when it's a full moon, everything is different. It's one of the most beautiful, incredible, and amazing things you can see if you like the space. I don't know about you if you ever see this thing before, but for some of us, have the opportunity to look at the full moon, especially on a perigee moon or supermoon. It's something so grateful that it feels like a spiritual connection with the universe, with the Creator. So if you probably don't have this with you, I encourage you to try at least once. This coming 15th of October, we're gonna have one of the most beautiful full moons, especially when it's rising. I'll show you some pictures. Now, to feel this experience, the best moment is the first 5 to 10 minutes max. When the moon is rising from horizon, there is something because the atmosphere, and if you can see the horizon, there is something special about this moment. 5-10 minutes maximum, where you can actually see a very huge, bright, red-orange moon. I have friends and family call me sometimes to tell me when they have the chance to see this, and it's like, oh, what's going on? I see the moon like this, like that, whatever. What happened? I was like, nothing happened. What happened is that you never got to look at the moon. Look at the rise of the moon. It's one of the most beautiful things. If you never have seen this thing, I really encourage you to see it, especially if you are passing through bad times, like bad experience or bad moments in life. I encourage you to just look at the space. Try to look at the full moon rising from the horizon if you had the chance, and then probably you will see things in a different way. Check this photo. I took this in 2014. Was in August. Right here, this is the water. This is Galveston. This right here, you see, that's the horizon. This light you see, there's some oil companies or platforms that they're on the Gulf of Mexico. But this is the sea right here. You can see this reflection. This is the full moon rising. This was a day of supermoon. You see it's going up. I put more light on my camera so you can see more details. You can see clouds in here. Again, this is the horizon right there. I give more light to the camera so you can see more details. This is the water. What you can see in here is just the pictures. If you be there in person and see this, the experience is just amazing. Now, for some of the people who's watching this video don't know what this thing means, a supermoon or a perigee syzygy moon means when the moon is on the closest moment to the Earth. The moon orbits our planet in an orbit that is not exactly round. It's like this, like oval. This is not a scale, it's just an example so you understand. But this kind of orbit, we call this ecliptic orbit. This is how the moon orbits the planet. When the moon is on the moment where it's close to the planet, that's what we call perigee moon. But this is only when it's a full or new moon. Sometimes it's a quarter of the moon or half of the moon, and it's on this position right here. When this happens, it doesn't call perigee or supermoon. It's no wait. It's just a quarter or half moon. This special moment happens only when it's two things: when it's full or new moon, and when it's really close to the Earth. That's when it's called perigee. And the reason is because if you have the chance to see it this Saturday, you will understand. It's just something beautiful. Now, when the moon is located on a far position to the planet, it's called apogee. That's when the moon looks pretty small. And this, like I say, it only happens when it's new or full moon. Now, another cool fact about the moon and the Earth is this. You might know the Earth is tilted about 23 degrees from the it has a tilt. Now, the moon has an inclination of degrees of 5 angle for 5.14 degrees. it doesn't look that much on this picture right here. If you could be in a space watching like the side of the planet Earth and the moon, this is how it probably would look. Planet Earth, the moon. Because this 5.14 degrees angle, the moon is making an orbit on our planet like this. Now, because of this angle, that's the reason why every month we don't have an eclipse. See, when an eclipse happens, either solar or lunar eclipse, is because our three celestial bodies are located in a perfect line. For example, on this image right here, it's not a scale. What you can see right now, it's a lunar eclipse. And when the lunar eclipse happens, it's because the Earth is between the moon and the sun, and they're all three had in a perfect alignment, like a perfect line. Now, when the moon is between the Earth and the sun, that's what we call a solar eclipse. Now, this is not a scale again. The Earth and the moon. And what happened is the moon is bouncing up and down on this orbit around the planet Earth. Sometimes it's in line, sometimes it's not. And it takes about 28 days to do this thing around the planet Earth. Now, this eclipse rotation or orbit around the planet Earth, it's called apsidal precession. That's how it calls this way of bouncing or orbiting. Now, because of this, we don't have an eclipse every month. Sometimes it's up, sometimes it's down. It's a big, huge privilege or miracle. An eclipse happens probably 1, 2, or 3 times a year. So we're really lucky to see when the three celestial bodies are positioned in a perfect angle in a perfect direction, 3 of them, so we can see an eclipse, either solar or lunar. Now, when the 3 celestial bodies are located in a perfect line, that's when an eclipse happens. But when it's a new moon, and a new moon, it is a solar eclipse. When it's a full moon, it's a lunar eclipse. Eclipses always happen only on new or full moon. Now, about apsidal precession, this is something wonderful. Try to bear with me about this. Remember I told you the moon kind of bounces up and down because the angle up and down. Well, what happened now with this apsidal precession is for the moon to do this, it's dancing around the Earth in a different ways. You see all these pictures do you see in here, it's an orbit around the planet, and you can see it's an elliptic. It's not exactly round, it's like oval. But when this thing happens, the moon is doing in a different ways. And guess what? To complete one, to do a complete apsidal precession, the moon takes 8.85 years. It's almost 9 years to complete one turn around the planet and go back to the same position. Isn't that amazing? Like awesome? Well, if you've been here, you bear with me until this almost 9 minutes of the video, I just want to say thank you for taking your time and watch this video. That's it for this video. 15th of October, full moon, perigee moon. Now, just before I finish this video, if you want to know at what time the moon rises in your place where you are, I recommend you to go to Google. It's very simple. Go to Google from your phone or from your computer or your PC or laptop. Just type what time the moon rises in, and you just choose. For example, I choose Houston, Texas. Once you're there, this is a very amazing website, timeanddate.com. This is an example about Houston, but you can just type whatever you are, any country or any city, and just scroll down, look at the year. Let's see, it's kind of frozen. Okay, it's coming up right there. 15. We're looking at October 2016. you go to the 15, which is it's marked as a full moon, and this part right here, it's the moon set, and this is the moonrise. What you're gonna do is just go to the 15th of October and check at the time of moonrise. On my case, I'm from Houston, it'll rise at 6:51 p.m. Now, for your convenience, I will leave these links of the other websites on the description of this video. I hope you enjoy and like this video, and like I said before, thank you for taking your time. If you like the pictures and photos that I show you in this video, I will just appreciate if you go to Facebook, and if you have with Facebook, just get here and just click like. I'm going to share with you the link of this page on the descriptions of the video. This is the Facebook that I use to share with all the friends and with you guys the photography that I use, astrophotography of landscape nature photography. This is all for now. Thank you very much. See you later.